And then next up is the Mr. Horse. You can't be here. You can't be in the video. Mr. Horse wants to be in the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting for me because I finally get to share these products with you. If we back up a few months before the holidays, Pur contacted me and asked me to do swatches of some of their new products that were coming out. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, over there I'm pretty well known for doing makeup swatches. So that's how they found me, and I was so honored and excited to do it. So they sent me the products ahead of time. I wasn't able to talk about them, which was so hard because they're so good. But now I can finally share them with you. And now that I've been playing with them for the past several months, I can honestly say that they are amazing. I just think Pur is one of those really underrated brands that doesn't get enough love, and I am so excited to share them with you. So let's get started. So the first product I'm going to talk about is the 4-in-1 blush book. And first of all, their packaging on these new palettes is gorgeous. I'll show you a close-up of this. It has this beautiful white textured outside, and then inside are 4 really large blush pans, and each one has 3 different shades within it. So you can, depending on where you put your brush in the palette, you can sort of catch either some of the darker shades or some of the lighter, or just swirl it completely around in the palette and pick up all the colors. There are warm tones in here, cool tones. It's just stunning. I will insert swatches for you right now, and the first shade is Honest, and that is a really beautiful warm toned pink. That's actually the color that I'm wearing today. And then the next shade is Passionate. This one is a beautiful cool tone pink. And then the third shade is Determined, and that one has like a really beautiful rich bronze color to it. And this is actually the only one of the bunch that has shimmer. And then Loyal is more of a deeper plummy like berry tone, but they're all just super pretty, and I think no matter what your skin tone, you can wear these. Being fair, I tend to stick towards the ones on the top, but I can also use these if I go in a little bit lighter, and I think deeper skin tones will really love this because it is just so super rich and pigmented. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a clip of me applying the shade Honest to my cheeks, and you'll see that when I dip my brush in and start to apply it, it is super pigmented. So when I did the other cheek, I made sure to tap my brush off first. So I think you really do need to be careful with this if you are fair-skinned like I am, because you could definitely overdo it pretty quickly, but on the plus side, you won't go through it as fast, so you only need like a teeny tiny little bit. And then next up is the Creator palette, and this is a face palette that's absolutely gorgeous. Again, they did such an amazing job with the packaging. It has this beautiful silver textured outside, and then on the inside there's a really large mirror, and the back of the mirror opens up so you can stand the palette up on a tabletop and do your makeup with it. It's just so well done. And then inside you have 12 eyeshadows in both matte and shimmer finishes. You also have a highlighter and a bronzer, but the really cool thing about this palette is that the foam insert comes out, and the pans are all magnetic, so they're in. You can slide them around, you can move them any way you want to move them. You can add different pans in here and basically just create your own palette. So it kind of becomes like a Z palette once you take out that middle insert. So I think that makes this palette really unique and different. And by the way, the formula is incredible. I'm going to insert some swatches now. You'll see how buttery the shimmery shades are, and the mattes are very soft and silky and incredibly easy to blend. I absolutely love this formula, not to mention they're super pigmented as well. So I'll also go ahead and insert a clip of me applying this palette to my eyes as well. First I used the shade Writer, which is a matte ivory color. I used that from my lash line all the way to my brow bone. And then I applied the shade Teacher, which is a matte taupe gray color, into my crease and blended that out. And then I applied Architect, which is a shimmery olive green, to the outer corner of my eyes. And then I applied Painter, which is a really shimmery champagne shade, from my inner corner to about the center of my lid, and then blended that out. Also, I love the bronzer and highlighter in this palette. The bronzer is a really beautiful neutral shade. It's not too warm or too cool. You probably could contour with it since it's not overly warm, but I think it's just the perfect sort of medium brown for bronzing. And then the highlighter is a really, really pretty yellow gold. It's actually light enough for me to wear on my skin tone, but I think it would look just as beautiful on deeper skin tones as well. And it goes on really nicely pigmented. It's very buttery and soft, and it goes on really easily, and you can build it up to a crazy amount of intensity. I'm going to insert a clip of me applying it to my cheeks today. You can really get a good idea of how intensely it can go on. Also, it's not glittery or chunky at all. It goes on really, really smooth, and I think that the shimmer is well refined in this one. So overall, I am really enjoying this palette. I think the quality is excellent, and I also love that you can remove the insert and either add shadows to it or take some out and swap them out, do whatever you want. That's the whole point of it. It's the creator palette, so I think the idea is just to create your own ideal color selection and shades, and I think it's just super unique. And then the last product I want to talk about today are the eye polish glitters. This is a 5-piece set that is very similar to the one that they had around the holidays, except these come in more fun spring colors, and they come in little tubes. They're basically a liquid eyeshadow, but they are glittery. So I use them as a topper. You can also use them alone, but today I use the shade Visionary on my eyelids, and I'm going to show you a quick clip of me applying it. It comes with a silicone spatula applicator, and what I do is I just sort of pat it onto my eyelid using the applicator, and then I go in and just sort of tap it on with my ring finger. And I don't find them to be chunky or streaky. They're really nicely pigmented. They go on very opaque, which is awesome, and they stay put all day. They don't crease, so they are just a fantastic formula. The holiday ones had really awesome reviews on Ulta's website, so I have no doubt that these will as well. They are just an awesome formula, very easy to work with. So let me insert some swatches for you guys really quickly. The first shade is Visionary. That's the one that I'm wearing today, and it's a really beautiful champagne gold color. The second shade is Dreamer, which is a silvery icy blue. And then the third shade is Stargazer, which is a really pretty purple. And then Satin is a rose gold, and that one is probably the least shimmery out of the bunch. And then Romantic is a frosty white color. So overall, if you love a glittery eye look, I highly recommend checking these out. They couldn't possibly make it any easier to do a glittery eye. I am definitely not an expert by any means, but the few times I've used these, I have loved the way that my eyes came out, and like I said, they don't crease and they are so long lasting, so I highly recommend them. Alright guys, that does it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and a big thank you to this little munchkin right here for staying so super quiet. He was such a good boy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.